Okay, quick vertical scan. I can see this is going to be a independent clause, dependent clause type question with punctuation, what they call boundaries. So the Mission 66 initiative, which was approved by Congress in 1956, that's a separate parenthetical, I can pull it out, represented a major investment in the infrastructure of overburdened national parks. This is an independent clause, okay? It prioritized physical improvements to the park's roads, utilities, and visitor facilities while establishing programming. Okay, this is an independent clause. I need to combine two independent clauses here. So it's not going to be parks and, not without the comma and. I need a comma fanboy or coordinating conjunction if I'm going to combine independent clauses. So A will not do. B just is a run-on. There's no punctuation between the two independent clauses. And D would be a comma splice. Again, incorrect punctuation between two independent clauses. Correct answer is going to be parks, semicolon. The semicolon combines two related independent clauses. Okay, I'm going to do a grammar. Could be a positive, could be, well, I've got commas, no commas, outside, inside. Could be sort of a boundaries, independent clause type issue. So a study led by scientists such and such found that black bears eat human food before hibernation have increased levels of rare carbon isotope, carbon-13, and then in parentheses we say what that is. We don't need a comma before the parentheses, but we do have a comma here, carbon isotope, and then we're going to identify that carbon isotope. We will need a comma afterward to separate it parenthetically. So I believe D is going to be our correct answer. A will not do. I don't need a comma before the parentheses. Same thing with C. And to have a comma and no comma on the other side doesn't separate it parenthetically. So I don't think that's going to be right either. So let's just double check that. So to have increased levels of rare carbon isotope, carbon-13, due to the higher 13 carbon levels in corn and cane sugar. I think that's going to be right. D. Okay, I've got a grammar issue with commas, long dashes, ands. Let's check our independent, dependent clause, our boundary issues. So photosynthesis, the mechanism by which plants use sunlight to turn carbon dioxide and water into nutrients. Okay, this is so far dependent, is fueled in part by an enzyme called photosystem 2 that harvests energy giving electrons from water molecules. Okay, turns carbon dioxide and water into nutrients. We start with an opening parenthetical here. I need an ending parenthetical here because photosynthesis is the subject noun to the verb is with a dependent clause in between. So I think I need into nutrients, comma. Okay. Not an and, not no punctuation, and not a long dash because I opened with a comma. I don't close with a long dash. So as I look down, again, we've got a grammar issue. Where do my long dashes go and commas, etc.? We'll check the independent, dependent clauses. After a spate of illnesses as a child, William Rudolph was told she might never walk again. Defying all odds, Rudolph didn't just walk. Here will be our independent clause. So that's dependent clause or phrase. And she ran fast during the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome. She won both 100-meter and 200-meter dashes and clinched first place. So she ran fast. And then we have a new sentence possibly here. So this looks like it's a variation on kind of our independent clause, period, dependent clause, then, comma, independent clause. Or in this case, it might be a long dash. Well, let's see. Defying all odds, Rudolph didn't just walk. She ran fast, period. During the 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome, she won both the 100-meter, 200-meter dashes, clinched first place for her team. So yeah, this is an independent clause here. So from during on, we have to have an independent clause, which means this has to be a period here. And the long dash is just describing or emphasizing how she ran. The others will not do. They do not correctly combine the independent clauses. So up to there, it's independent clause, and after there, independent clause. A period is the correct punctuation. Okay, I have a grammar question, and we've got semicolons, periods, commas. This is going to be what they call boundaries or independent, dependent clause combination type questions. So Beatrix Potter is best known for writing and illustrating children's books such as The Tale of Peter Rabbit, but she also dedicated herself to mycology, the study of fungi. Okay, so up till there, that's an independent clause. Producing more than 350 paintings of the fungal species she observed in nature and submitting her research on spore germination to the Linnean Society of London. So, do we want a semicolon, a period? Well, these can't be right because they'd be the same thing. Or do we want no punctuation or a comma? Well, I don't think we're going to want no punctuation because if this is an independent clause up to fungi, then this would be a comma and this would be a participle starting a dependent clause after that. So I think that's what it has to be. The study of fungi, comma, more than 350 paintings of the fungi species she observed in nature and submitting her research on spore. So this part, more than, producing more than, that's just a dependent clause and it's at the end of the sentence. So D will be the correct answer.